Okay, thanks everybody for joining. Let's get started. Welcome to Wharton CTO Business Storytelling Club. This meeting is for the participants of Wharton CTO program 2021-2022. Thank you all for joining. My name is Ravi Teneti. We are here every other week to kind of share our thoughts, ideas, and participate and improve executive presentation skills. As you know, as you're all executives, you must have seen the importance of communication skills, and probably you are kind of reiterating that fact to your teams too. So, and you, as an executive, you would be asked to participate in several communication events, whether that's leading a town hall or motivating and inspiring your team or communicating to your executives, C-level executives. So our goal here is to collectively improve on that particular skill. So today in this meeting, what we're going to do is we are actually following the methodology and structure of Toastmasters. We are not exactly a Toastmasters Toastmasters club now, but we are using their structure and format in order to come up content for this meeting for us. So this is we started off this with the initiative from Hari. Thanks to Hari. Hari has been active member of Toastmasters, and I'm also, a few years ago, I was very active, and now I'm part of a little bit of Toastmasters. So as far as the structure of today's meeting is concerned, there is no stress, just be relaxed, and it's going to be very informal. I think 6 or 7 of us are going to share our thoughts on various topics. We are going to start off with our introductions. I think that is the best way to begin. And originally I thought of 1 to 2 minutes, but you can take up to 2 to 3 minutes as we have a little bit of time here. So when we start with introductions, you can share a little bit about your role, your passions, or anything that you want to share with this group in 2 to 3 minutes. And then what we are going to do is we're going to I have some questions, random questions on certain executive topics like leadership, hiring, transformation, whether it's digital transformation or business transformation, decision making. You're all experienced in it. I wanted to tap into that skill and get your thoughts. We are going to share thoughts with one another, insights and perspectives. That's going to help us collectively to broaden our thinking. And then finally, what we're going to do is we're going to do a round robin feedback, or we can determine feedback on overall meeting or feedback on a specific topic someone expressed. So depending on the time, we can go over on that. So with that, let's get started with introductions. As I said, 2 to 3 minutes. So Hari, do you have ability to time us, or shall I put the timing in the chat?
Yeah, I think one of you can volunteer. You can do it.
Okay, okay. So it's 2 to 3 minutes. So you can alert us in the chat at 2 minutes, at 2.5 minutes, and at 3 minutes.
Glenn, is that okay with you?
Hey, you want me to go? I can time it. Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks, Hari. Okay, I think let's get started with introductions. First, let me begin myself. As I mentioned, my name is Ravi Teneti. I'm located in Columbus, Ohio, and I've been in technology industry from past 15 years. I love the big picture and strategic components of technology and how it ties together and helps business. So that led me to variety of roles in technology as a full-time executive roles, and also as a consulting executive roles. So the technology became my passion. I'm a graduate BTech in computer science and engineering, and I did my MBA. In addition to my technology roles, I also pursue My other passions in leadership coaching and public speaking, I got trained under John Maxwell as part of leadership coaching. Have you heard of John Maxwell? Is one of the famous authors on leadership. I got personally trained by him. And so I coach individuals and leaders on leadership and mindset and personal effectiveness aspects, because in order to become a leader, in order to become an executive, you have to be an effective person first and get a strong mindset. So those are the aspects, other aspects that I work on. So overall technology, business strategy, management consulting, leadership, mindset, and leadership coaching is what I focus on, primary areas. Whatever I do in any given day, it's focused around these areas. Uh, so that's what a little bit about myself. So CTO program, when I joined, I'm a generalist in nature. I kind of get in, like to learn multiple different things and sort of multi-passionate. That led me to various technology functions and roles over a period of past 15 years. When I joined Wharton CTO program, I have um, my primary goal is to broaden my thinking and perspectives in technology, ultimately leading to thinking like a CDO, and also learn from this peer group. That is what I'm most interested in, because this is, I would say, some of the 100 leaders who are in this program, I would say some of the best leaders in the industry at this point. So having an opportunity to talk to all of you is going to raise my level of thinking. In the same way, I wanted to contribute my thoughts and experience as well. So that's what little bit about myself. So with that, let me now ask Rajesh to introduce himself. Rajesh, over to you.
It's exactly 2 minutes 58 seconds. So
Oh, wow. I did not time it, but it came out very perfect.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ravi, for the great introduction and spearheading this meeting. And my name is Rajesh. I have 15 years of experience in banking, providing IT solutions to top banks like Morgan Stanley, Citibank, and currently I'm working as a director at UBS, leading the data analytics platform, driving both my technology team as well as my senior executives the digital transformation, and enabling them to understand the data and do analytics better on risk and compliance portfolio. That's what I was managing. And I have bachelor's in computer science, and I completed my MBA at Rutgers University, and I am very much passionate about the data. So as part of my MBA program, even though it is an MBA, since I'm very close to data, I joined a data analytics competition. It's conducted by a federal firm, MITRE. It's a fraud detection firm, healthcare fraud detection firm. Universities across US participated in that competition. And my algorithm got selected as one of the top 3 finalists in the data analytics competition. And I went ahead, presented that in MITRE firm at Washington, DC. And I also invited to the Blue Cross Blue Shield to provide them an data analytics transformation idea, kind of a keynote speaker. Just went ahead and spoken there about the data analytics there. And that's, I'm very close to the data. I'm passionate about it. Even I do AI and ML in my organization. And I like to learn and grow. That's my motivation. And that's the reason I joined CTO. And being part of this great community and learning from others is one of the core ideas. Learning and sharing is important. And this community is really a awesome community where senior leaders are sharing their experience and thoughts, how to handle a critical situation, how to transform the organization. So trying to learn more from people like you and implement the same in my organization as well. So that's pretty much about it.
Excellent, Rajesh. Thank you for sharing your background with us, data and analytics, and it's such a fantastic achievement. One of the top three finalists in that competition, and also one thing I liked is learning and growing. That's what is essential for anyone to succeed. Thank you for sharing those
Thank you.
thoughts. Now let me.
It's 2 minutes, 19 seconds. Just wanted to tell you the time.
Excellent.
Thank
So
you, Alan.
thanks, Alan, for capturing that. So let me now ask Alan to introduce himself, and I'm going to time you, Alan.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. As you know, my name is Ilan Cherian Pannir Selvam. People call me Ilan as a short name. Yeah, I work. I live in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I work with Fair Square Financials, which is kind of a startup. As Rajesh, I am also into a data analytical world. I'm a director of data strategy for Fair Square, and throughout my experience over 20 plus, I've been with the data, primarily with the credit card finance area. What I'm passionate about is, again, data is everything. As now the world is moving towards data, big data, cloud data, whatever. It's all about data. So analytics and insight is going to be the key for the business. That is what I like about. I love numbers. So that's my passion. On top of it, I have worked with JP Morgan, Cognizant, TCS throughout my career. So I am with technology and business side of the data. So that is my core skill is. So I know how to use the technology to drive the business, but not big into a technology side because my experience always with the business side of it. So this is where I come in with a CTO program. So I wanted to know what is out there in the technology, how I can use the technology to transform the data better than what we do. So waiting to learn from. I'm learning. I think already in 6 weeks I learned a lot. So going to learn a few things. Again, this Toastmaster is a great example how I can shape up myself, especially in the effective communication side. I wanted to become an entrepreneur. So I'm on the side. I'm working on few products as well. So this is going to be my great learning with you guys. So that's about me.
Excellent. Thanks. Thanks, Alan. You timed it 1 minute 52 seconds, but I started off it a little bit, probably a 30 seconds late. So you can add on to that. Around 2 minutes, 10 seconds is your total. But that's a great introduction. Thank you for sharing with us. Another data strategy and data analytics expert in our group, and technology to drive business. That's what I liked. That's what we are here. That's what ultimately what technology does. It helps businesses. And I like the entrepreneurship component and ambitions of yours. So thank you for sharing those thoughts. Now let me go to JK first, and then I'll come to Hari. JK, thanks for joining. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm just trying to start my camera also. Yeah, here it is. So thank you, everybody. And it's really fascinating to hear the background of individuals in the group. Myself, J.K. Singh. My name is Janendra Kumar Singh, but everybody calls me J.K. I have been part of IT industry for last 25 years. And out of that, I would say that I have been fortunate enough to kind of roam around in geographies, in domains, and also in technology space. Long time back when I was still a kid and probably mainframe was ruling the world those days. I was trained on mainframe and was working on assembly language programming. I didn't know how things will turn out 20 years down the line, but when I look back, I have seen technology evolving and dying one by one, and different things coming up with different fundamentals and different narratives behind it, with a claim that certain things will be done in a much better way. So it has been a kind of a, I would say that movie, if we look at specific technology, be it so-called client-server technology, be it original mainframe technologies, how they have shaped up now, internet-based different technologies which cater to the needs of the businesses. And now digital and cloud and robotics, how they are basically ruling the world. This has been my fascination over a period of time. This has developed in a way that I look at the history, I look at how things are evolving on technology side and domain side also, but primarily on technology. I have been part of some of these technology companies, including TCS, now part of Cognizant. Earlier, long time back, I was part of Sintel also, just to name these organizations. But now I find myself technology evangelist who looks at the history and the current aspects of how things function. I have been part of, from organizational structures side, operations, sales, and of course now evangelism. I'm part of this this group with an intent that I would like to get a kind of a formal setup in this process of how things will function inside the technology world, how different curves come up, how to identify if a particular thing is going in a manner which is the law of the world, and kind of rational out, reason out things. So far, I have kind of seen that yes, that's the way this course is set up, and I'm thrilled about it. More than that, I'm coming across the wonderful people like you and learning from them because life also is a journey, and I look forward to come across more exciting things in this cohort. Thank you.
Thanks, JK. Such a wonderful introduction. Technology evolving and dying, and from the historical perspective and future perspective, you covered a lot of great insights in your introduction. Technology evangelism is something that that fascinates me as well. And towards the end, you said something, life is a journey. That's a great perspective on life. Thanks, JK. Now I see Sundar.
It's 3 minutes 42 seconds. Yeah, 3 minutes 42 seconds.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It was a bit longer. I should have finished it within 2.5 minutes. By the way, this is the first time I'm putting myself, under restriction of time.
Okay.
No, JK, when you start talking about a mainframe passionate, the time goes. I started with the mainframe as well, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's the weakness. Yes. Thank you.
So today we kind of do not have that much of a time restriction when you speak because of the because we are 6 people. We wanted our thoughts to flow freely. I see Sundar also joined. Hi, Sundar. And let me now ask Hari to introduce. So Hari is Hari is the one who came up with the idea of this club. So Hari gets more interesting thoughts on a lot of things. So Hari, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thank you, Ravi. Thanks everyone for joining on a Monday morning, on a Saturday morning, and sharing your insights with us. I'm Hari, working in UBS, Union Bank of Switzerland, in the financial services, one of the leading 500 companies. I work as a application service delivery lead in group finance technology, solving business problems, partnering them, and bringing them into the future with all the services and technologies that are available in the market and make them better. I'm responsible for a larger team focusing on delivering the balance sheet and P&L reports for global capital markets. And hence, with the 25 years of experience, I've gathered a lot of expertise on the financial domain as well as on the technology domain, which I'm using it as a tool to share my expertise and be a subject matter expert to my business partners and IT partners. Now, I have a GPS. It helps me stay focused. It helps me to grow, and it helps me to share my knowledge with that. What is that GPS? Before I tell that GPS, I would say I keep it simple with 3 Ps: people, product, process. If we have great people following, creating, adapting great processes, we can build great products. So people, process, and products. And obviously at different times, we have to focus on different Ps. Sometimes people focus needs to be there to make sure we hire the right people, we build the right people, and we make them inspire to build great products. But technology doesn't rely on people. An organization doesn't rely on people. We need to have solid processes. We need to have transparent processes. We need to have robust processes that goes over time. The building process, creating frameworks, working with the teams to build the strategies and the execution mechanisms is also a passion to me. When you have the great processes, when you have great people, like-minded people to work with you, why not? We will be building great products that we'll be passionate, we'll be proud about when we look back in our career. So that's how I keep people, product, and processes as my key focus. And going back to my GPS, growing people and sharing my subject matter expertise with my team and my business partners is what drives me every day. What can I bring newly to them? How can I treat them with respect? How can I listen to them more so that I understand their perspectives and problems more, so that the problem solving becomes much more a trust and a transparent process. So if I have to sum up my experience and expertise, I would say the GPS, growing people and sharing my expertise, anchors and focuses me into the future in order to deliver great products using robust processes, working together with great people. Thank you, Ravi.
Excellent. Thanks, Hari. That's such a wonderful GPS and framework, people, process, and product. And I like the way one of the points that you mentioned, at different times, you need to focus on different aspects of it. I mean, you cannot always continuously focus on one thing, but ultimately you need to balance out all three. I love the way you articulated it. Thanks, Hari.
Thank you.
So maybe it's 3 minutes 27 seconds. Maybe I might be using your people, product, process in my company's maybe vision. So
excellent.
Go for it.
So now Sundar also joined us. Sundar, please go ahead and introduce yourself in 2 to 3 minutes. Sundar.
Sure, give me 1 minute. I'll just get settled down. I came out. Yes.
Absolutely, no worries.
So Hari, I have a 3 kind of stuff. What I do is simple, secure, and service. So that is my mantra.
So 3 S's and 3 P's. So excellent.
It's excellent. I think when you start talking in a town hall or a team meeting, right? It's very hard to take too many points out of that discussion. But when they go back and sit in their desk, you want them to remember with a very simple thing. So it could be the rule of 3 is very significant in communication. So anything that you can say in 3 words, 3 letters, an acronym, it kind of sticks with people. The idea sticks with people. So define your 3 letters, define your 3 words, and repeat that in a consistent manner so that people kind of think about you in those 3 words. So I think that's the key. And as we go with our introductions, if we can focus on that aspect, that'll be great. Sorry, Ravi, you were going to say.
No worries.
One minute. I want to take the notes from Ilan. Ilan, what was the 3 thing you were saying? Simple,
secure, service.
Thank you.
From the leadership perspective, I broke that rule of 3 for one of my keynote presentations. I gave a talk on 5 I's of leadership. It is 5 I's. So I'll share my video with this group after It was 4 years ago. After this meeting, I'm going to share that video. I welcome any feedback that you can provide. Now, Sundar is ready. Sundar, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay. This is my different time zone, so I had to. Yeah, basically, I'm based out of New Jersey. I have around 13 years of experience in IT industry, and I could see a lot of coincidence with this crowd. Like everyone started with mainframe, same with me, and I worked on data. So even I started my career as a mainframe developer. Then after 5 to 6 years, I see a drastic change in the technological development. So I don't want to regret for what I chose. So I simply took a U-turn and jumped onto Java, and then learned aggressive approach on Java development, then AWS, then AKS, and currently into data lake side. So that's the way I travel so far. I'm currently working as a solutions architect on the data lake side. Throughout my journey, I worked for Morgan Stanley, Verizon, and now I'm back to Morgan. So these are the companies. And on the implementation side, I worked for TCS, Infosys, and now with the different company on a contracting position. And yes, like many people, even I love data. So I worked on data governance. I dealt with a lot of financial data. I'm more passionate about it in understanding the pattern of data, pattern of transactions. So I always love that. And the reason why I'm here and also the CTO program is throughout my journey, I looked into technology from a small unit perspective. I mean, different units of the enterprise perspective. I'm more passionate about performance improvements, optimization, process improvements. I did a lot of performance improvements and modernization activities throughout my journey. Now I'm taking a pause and thinking about how the technology impacts or drives in our perspective on the high level. So I want to learn that aspect of it. So that's why I joined this program. And of course, I'm learning a lot from the senior people from this area. I mean, who are dealing with the organizational technological change or transformation in terms of a lot in different technologies. So that's my primary goal of joining this program. And of course, this Toastmaster Club. Yes, I want to engage myself in an active manner to interact with people. I love to interact with like-minded people, especially unknown people. I always like to meet and get introduced. So that's my reason for joining this Toastmaster Club. And as of course, I have to improvise my communication skills, how to effective communication, and this time restricted communication is also must, right? So we should not prolong whatever we think we cannot freely open to the forum. So that also I'm slowly learning. That's the reason for joining it. I'd love to meet you all. Glad to know people. I think today I got to know about Rajesh and JK Singh. I already got to know about other folks. So this is my second session in Toastmasters Club. So glad to meet you all. Looking forward for further discussions. Thank you.
Thanks, Sundar. That's a wonderful introduction. There is a great amount of experience in variety of technologies and solution architecture perspective that you can bring to this group. As you can see from all introductions from all of us, right? Rajesh and Alan brings data and data analytics perspective, and Hari talked about 3Ps: people, product, and process perspective, and then JK brings a perspective on technology evangelism and how technology evolved and died for several years. So this is what we can collectively share our thoughts on. Each of us has got strong areas, and also we can listen to the perspectives of the others and broaden our thinking. So with that, now we have around 25 minutes, 6 of us. I would like to
Ravi, I just wanted to tell the time: 3 minutes 12 seconds.
3 minutes 12 seconds. Okay, so we already got ample opportunity to talk. I think everyone spent 2 to 3 minutes describing about yourself. That is the best topic, right? Talking about yourself off the cuff. And then on the spontaneous or off the cuff thoughts, the next segment, how I'm planning is I have a list of questions on various topics. And these questions are not like any interview questions. I modified it. These questions are designed in such a way that you all have got lots of experience, wanted to get your perspective so that all of us can benefit on those topics. These are just random, general, there's no right or wrong answer, so you can share your thoughts. Let me begin with Hari then, or any volunteers who wants to go first. I think Hari, yeah. So Hari, you, the time limit, I would say stick to 2 minutes, around 1 to 2 minutes. But in case if you want to express a little bit more, that's fine too, because we have, I think 25 minutes, we are 6. Even if we talk 3 minutes, it would be 18 minutes. And then rest of the time we can use for feedback. So first I'll go one after, and then we are going to talk about the evaluation or feedback towards the end. So Hari, I love the way that you emphasized on the people aspect of leadership, right, in your introduction. So I would like to get your perspective on when you hire executives in your team, leaders in your team, what qualities do you look for in them? So can you offer a little bit of your perspective or advice or anything that you can share with us on that hiring leaders perspective?
Sure, Ravi. Fantastic question on hiring leaders and executives. Now, it's not only leaders, I believe even as a junior member to an experienced, to a very senior experienced people, I look for 3 qualities. What are those 3 qualities? Number 1, it's the willingness to learn. No matter how experienced we are, there are always going to be new technologies. There are always going to be new ideas, new processes that we have to learn. And having an experience, having them show or demonstrate or explain how they have continuously adapted them to learn new processes, new technologies, and demonstrate their willingness to learn is very important to me. Because if they have the willingness to learn, then they can probably be a very good learner. And when they have so much thing to share, I think the overall ecosystem of our team will grow along with them. So that's one, willingness to learn. Number 2, I would say curiosity, because curiousness helps with problem solving. And in business and in life, we solve problems. And for that, you need to be curious to know what the business users' problems are, be able to listen to them more, be able to understand from their shoes, be empathetic about it, and then come up with our own views and perspectives and ideas. So being curious and to be able to demonstrate in a project experience or a personal or a professional experience, that is important to me. So that's number 2. Number 3 would be respecting each other. There will be smart people beyond our own experience and knowledge. There will always be smart people in the room better than us. And it is important that we give space to each other, we give respect to each other, and respect their ideas, respect their experience, respect their process, on how what they are able to bring into the table, and then also put forward our ideas and bring into the table and make it a collective experience, better experience. So in any executive or any new team member, I expect these 3 things: willingness to learn, be curious to solve problems, and respect each other. If these 3 qualities are there in an individual, I'll be happy to take them in my team, because the business, personal, and professional life is anchored on these 3 core values. Thank you, Ravi.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Hari. So willingness to learn, curiosity, and respecting each other. That's the great framework for hiring. Thanks for sharing that. Now, any volunteers for next question?
Yeah, this Sundar, sorry, I had to turn off my video. Sorry for that. So I like the 3 things, whatever Hari mentioned, the curiosity and willing to learn, right? So even I am in line with that. On top of that, I have one more perspective I like to see from people is the responsibility towards liberty. So I don't like people restricting people to stick to something. I mean, like, wow, I like to give the liberty of in the workplace. So whatever, but they have to make sure they are responsible for what they have to do. So they should not misuse that liberty, whatever we are providing for them. So that's something I like to see in people, on top of the curiosity and willing to learn. Those two things also I go with that. So these three are my priorities.
Thanks, Sundar. So I have my next question. So who is ready to answer my next question? Volunteers.
Ravi, I will take it up.
Okay, thanks, JK. This is, this is going to be interesting. So JK, you mentioned about in your introduction, I got some of the ideas you have seen in technology industry past 25 years, and technology is evolving and dying, and then various perspectives. From the leadership, we all have to be leaders in technology, irrespective of, I mean, leadership is not about the title or position. I mean, everyone in the industry have to have the quality of leadership, right? What are your thoughts on your personal, share a little bit about your personal leadership style, and also, if time permits, you can offer some thoughts on the leadership styles that you observed in the technology industry in the past 25 years.
Sure. Yes, certainly it is a wonderful question to look into. In my opinion, my view of leadership has evolved. And earlier I used to think that maybe it's just me, but again, over a period of few years, I kind of settled with the thought that it is just not me. The concept of leadership also evolves as things progress from one thing to another. Maybe 20, 25 years back, when I started my first job, if I look at the IT industry specifically, the leadership as such was nil. It was all being governed by the I would say that the needs and fancies of the businesses and the requirements of business areas, and IT was just a kind of a support channel for small things which will come to it. And slowly, people started realizing that IT in itself can cater to something big, and can develop into something which can, on its own, become can develop itself into a primary requirement, which can shape the business itself. And that's what happened over a period of a couple of decades or so. So in that situation, the leadership also started changing. And the concept of CIOs and CTOs came up. I don't remember this CIO or CTO early 90s kind of, even if they were there in the big industries, they were in prominence. But late 90s and later on, these leadership roles took prominence, and I could see a number of articles being written that how CIOs should get placed on the leadership board in decision making of the big organizations. So if I look back, all these things are indicators that leadership has evolved. And why they evolved? It was probably because there were a number of things kind of coming up, shaping up in the industry and in the world. And so the leadership also had to cater to those changing needs. I personally have been benefited out of the changes. And again, your own leadership depends upon which part of the world or which part of the overall game you are fitting in or you are part of. So I used to be working mainly for a long time, mainly in the delivery part of the game, wherein the innovation, the conceptualization, and initial development used to be kind of completed on one side of the world, and a large development piece will kind of end up being to another side of the world. And then you have a set of folks who have to take this big piece of work and do the heavy lifting on executing them. So in that situation, you are required to find out ways to apply your workforce and deliver those predefined steps, which have already undergone the process of innovation, conceptualization, and finalization as a requirement. Now, if you work in that setup for a long period of time, your skill in terms of leadership will shape up in that direction, wherein you would figure out how to communicate with your workforce in an effective manner, how to motivate them to get things in a quick time, and of course, minimizing the cost aspect. And I personally felt that that was also a phase where I could benefit myself with the stuffs which were prevailing in the market. Subsequently, when I got an opportunity to be part of the process of innovation, the process of conceptualization at a higher level, when things have not taken its shape, and you have to allow different brains to kind of give different types of output, and a mixed product will come up when it will settle, and what we call right now a dominant design. I mean, I would say that any kind of engagement, any project, or any concept goes through that process where multiple people basically provide their ideas. Some of them will be very good, some of them will be substandard, but then very good or substandard doesn't mean that what direction it will take when dominant design will take its shape. And sometimes a very, very ordinary idea becomes the dominant design because that's how it had to shape. That was appearing to be a very, very ordinary, but that's kind of on the target of the needs of the world. So in that situation, when you are part of a team or a part of an ecosystem wherein the innovation is taking its shape, the leadership style has to be different. So in the first case, when the leadership has to concentrate on getting things executed at low cost in a very quick time, then you have to be assertive. In the second case, when you are actually kind of catering to the needs of innovation processes, you cannot afford to be taking a particular line or taking assertion beyond a particular point. I mean, because innovation doesn't have a predefined shape. The concepts will come from all corners, and the best thing one can do, and again that is in my hindsight, best thing one can do, that you collect all forms of ideas, all forms of thought processes, and let them kind of evolve on its own. And your leadership will have to kind of provide a facilitation to have all the folks bringing up wonderful ideas, their brains functioning in a direction to just give ideas without bothering about whether it will work or not. And then comes up that, okay, where is it leading to? We have to pick up certain things which will be business efficient, which will be giving certain benefit to people who are really willing to spend money. And that's something I would say that you can take a finance hat and basically decide on all those things. So
yeah, JK, I think we're running 7 minutes 27 seconds. I don't know whether Ravi you have time or not. Just
I'll
sorry.
take another 10 seconds. I'll just take
Yeah,
10
sure.
seconds.
Okay.
So my point is that it depends upon what you are actually what part of the overall game you are in, and your leadership has to allow things to function in the best possible way for that localized environment, and overall of course keeping the overall game in the mind. So that's how I personally see the leadership, and I would love to hear from others.
Thanks, JK. That's a great perspective. And you talked about one crucial point is how leadership evolves.
I think we are
Not
getting
just
a feedback. Maybe I'm not sure where it is.
JK,
Oh,
can
yeah,
you
it's me.
get
It's
it?
me.
Okay. So you also talked about how leadership evolves, not just as it leadership concept evolves. That's the point I liked. Now we still have time. My next question. Who wants to go next? Rajesh, Alan, Sundar.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Rajesh, okay. Thanks, Rajesh. So you have a great background on data analytics and how data analytics, business analytics help businesses. So can you talk about a little bit about the challenges that businesses or technology executives or business executives face when it comes to data and analytics and the utilization of data for the business needs? 1 to 2 minutes is preferred.
Sure, Ravi. Yeah. So, to be honest, when I joined UBS as a director, I was reporting to the C-level executive chief compliance officer of America. So, as part of that, one thing common across all the executives, right? It's they want to do an analytics on top of the data, right? That's a common theme. But the main challenge I would feel is to making business understand the need of the data analytics, because for from the business perspective, currently everything is executed properly. If you are managing a $5 billion assets, the $5 billion assets has been properly managed for past 20 years. What's the need of the change? Why there is a change? Why do you want to make changes? So that is the main challenge, to make people understand the need for the change, right? And as a director at UBS, this is my goal, to transform the executives and streamline the business processes, and enabling people to understand the change, right? Understand the change. So the quick tip, or the quick thing, that what I did at UBS is I put together a roadshow. How exactly a simple solution can be automated, and what is the benefit of automation, and how exactly it can be scaled up. So these two things creates an dominoes effect, I would say, by showing the roadmap. A roadshow to one of the team has created the dominoes effect, and people wanted me to explain the same thing to the larger audience. Hey, by showing the operational efficiency through automation and through analytics, I was able to convince multiple stakeholders in my organization. So the challenge is to convince your stakeholders why there is a change, why there is a need for a change, and how exactly it is going to transform your business, and what is the operational efficiency or the innovation that you can achieve in making the business better. So that's about it.
Excellent, great perspective, Rajesh. Thank you for sharing those thoughts. And Hari has got the colors out there. So when you see green, that means you got the minimum 1 minute to talk, and then yellow is like 1.5, and 2 is red. When you got that red card from Hari, that's the time for you to wrap up. You get 30 seconds to wrap up. So thanks, Hari.
I did
But,
it at that.
yeah, you did it very well.
2 minutes, 10 seconds. So
you did excellent. Now, Alan or Sundar.
Yeah, I can go.
Yeah. Okay. So, Alan, you're also into the data analytics and data strategy, which helps business to make decisions. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go into, the question is on personal decision making or leadership decision making, right? With the help of a toughest decision that you made, you can quickly talk about the toughest decision or not, but with the help of that decision making process that you went through, what are some of the ideas, philosophies, or methodologies that you want to share with this group in quick 2 minutes about decision making and executive decision making? Because this is what we'll be doing every day.
Yeah, I think this is okay. Yeah, this is a great question. I've done many challenges I've took in my career, especially in Fair Square when I joined. They were into the data digital transformation project. When I joined, I looked into the project, okay, where they are. It has been going for a year and 6 months. When I went and saw where they are not there anywhere close to. We have to finish it in like next 6 months. So what I did is at the time, okay, I understood what is the requirement from the CXO. I went and talked to them. Okay, and then I put together a roadmap. Okay, this is what we can do in like the next 6 to 8 months. Oh, that is the biggest challenge. A lot of pushback came from the business. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and everything. But I told them, if you wanted to deliver this is what you have to do, and then we can scale up later. So but I need like few more team member I need to hire. So I went and hired in next couple of months. I hired a team, started the work, put together a project plan. We showed it 6 to 8 months. We delivered the project, including what business expected. So that kind of a decision making. So it was a hard decision making at that time because every pushback coming from all over the business. But I told my CXO, okay, if I go and listen to the business, we can't deliver this project. But at the same time, I can parallelly do whatever I can deliver for the business. We will do it. But our core is going to be what you need. Okay, the data migration project or data transformation project, because we have to cut the vendor by 2019 of December. I took over the project in April. So December, we cut the project. So we delivered everything. So business were happy even at the same time. So that was my biggest decision making, which I took over as a startup company, and then I delivered the project.
Excellent perspective, Aaron. I know sometimes we have to make tough decisions.
Yes. Yeah.
Great. Thanks. Thank you for sharing that. So Sundar, last question to you.
1 second. Ilan's time was 1 minute 55 seconds.
1 minute 55. Okay.
Yes, Ravi, I'm here.
Rajesh, you have seen multiple technologies. You've worked on multiple technologies from the solution architecture perspective.
The question is for Sundar, right?
Yes, for Sundar.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
From solution architecture perspective. So could you explain the most difficult aspect when it comes to technology selection for a particular business need, because the technologies are evolving and growing and changing. So when you advise your business on a particular piece of technology, so what is your criteria or any thoughts on what is the most difficult aspect of it?
Yes, so the difficult aspect I would say is the scalability and meeting the future goals or needs of the organization, as well as the trends in technology. Because Java, I mean, we started with mainframe decades back, and then suddenly a shift to C and then Java. Now we are leading towards low code, no code concepts, and Python is getting familiar because of artificial intelligence. So we see a lot of change in all this, but it's purely depends on the need of that specific unit rather than the organization, because every application have its own functionalities to meet, and the things which evolve over a period of time will change for units rather than, I mean, like as an organization, we will have some common standards which can be followed. But when it comes to selection of technology, it's driven by the unit, its needs and goals and the future objectives, I can say. So that's what. And when the challenge here is, as I said, it keep evolving. A lot of things keep evolving, right? We cannot make a shift every time whenever something new comes up. So when we are doing something from the scratch, we have to make sure it will be stable. It will be a stable one for the next 10 to 15 years at least. I mean, that way we can adopt something new, even, I mean, by retrofitting something rather than rebuilding it completely. Because even mainframes, even though it's the generations old, we are still able to run with it, even though the new technology comes in. We are not getting rid of it. We are not able to get rid of it, right? So that's how stable the mainframe is. I love mainframes. I won't hate mainframes. I wish it lived for longer time, and people get more attracted towards mainframe rather than other technologies. Just because of the cost, we are trying to move away from mainframes. That's what I see. But yes, as I said, we need to look from a perspective of sustainability for a longer run. That way, even though something new comes up, we will be able to adapt to it with the existing one. Because I see now a lot of people are doing this modernization activity, but not every organization is successful in doing the transformation, modernization activities. It's because I can say maybe they are doing a trial and error. Just they want to, everyone is doing, even I also want to do a modernization. So, and I see a lot of budget being spent on the modernization activities. I'm not sure how many orgs are successful in that. From what I see, not many of the modernization went successful. But only small unit of the organization activity is getting successful, but not at the complete organization level it is getting successful. So that's my point here.
Excellent.
Hope it makes sense.
Great, that's great. That's great insight. Thanks, Sundar, for sharing. You talked about how technology evolves. JK talked about how leadership evolves, and all of us talked about how organizations evolves. So ultimately, the theme is technology evolves, leadership evolves, and organization and businesses evolves into next level. And in order to catch up, personally, we as the leaders of technology also need to evolve into the next generation leaders. On that note,
time is 3 minutes 9 seconds. So just
3 minutes 9 seconds. Great. That's great timing, Sundar. So on that note, we conclude this section. So we are at 10:03. But if you're all okay to stay for 5 more minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a quick feedback from all of you on the overall meeting, overall content, that whatever we all shared, how a quick perspective. Let me start with Hari. Hari, a quick feedback or evaluation of overall meeting and what you liked, what can be improved, and anything that you can share.
Sure, I'd definitely love to do that. But before that, I want to check with you. Do you want an opportunity to talk for 2 minutes on a technology strategy question that I can throw to you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's do that. I want to give you a fair opportunity to have that experience, and then we'll stay on for 5 more minutes for sharing the feedback. Okay, the scenario for you is you're coming into a new startup, and the startup got raised, 100 million in multiple series raise. Now the question is, how do you build an engineering culture into a startup, and what would be your next 18 months goal on implementing that strategy?
Excellent. So I got experience with startups. I've been an entrepreneur myself. So with that, not 100 million startup, definitely. But the process that I would follow is, first thing, as you explained in your talk as well, the first thing is people. You need to find the right people for the right jobs, as Jim Collins mentioned in Good to Great. The first thing is not about where you want to, it's not about strategy, it is people first strategy. Get the right people on the bus in the right seats, then decide where you want to take the bus. I mean, if you decide where you want to take the bus first and then go for wrong people, then that strategy, we always, so as Peter Drucker said, right, culture eats strategy for breakfast. So you got to select the right people on the right seats. That defines the culture that's going to help you to build the culture. And then processes, right? You're going to define processes around your people, around your goals. It is not going to be too rigid because you are a startup. And that startup culture is going to stay with you even if you are a bigger organization. The culture of a startup, a culture of day one, always helpful for an organization to grow. So building processes around your people and culture, that is the next steps. And then that leads to the strategy for the direction, for the future direction, future goals of that particular organization, particular startup, whatever it may be. So that is going to build an culture for your organization to survive and thrive, and to help you move forward in future. That's my short answer.
Yeah, 2 minutes, 8 seconds.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you very much. It's a wonderful answer. I think it was on the spot for you. So you brought in the people aspect and process aspect to get through it. Wonderful. I think we never gave feedback right after the speeches to each of the speaker. I think in the future meetings, if we can incorporate that 1 minute feedback from someone else on how the speaker spoke.
Today, right. Today we wanted to utilize the time to share thoughts more. So going forward, we would organize the meetings in a better structured format, and then timing. Today we kind of easy on timing. We did not put more restrictions on timing so that everyone was able to express. So this will be your time of 1 minute or 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes, because it's already 10:08. So 10:08. So let's take 1 minute. You can give feedback on a specific topic that you listened, that you liked, or overall meeting, or per person, however you want to organize. I would request you to organize it and finish it in 1.5 minute. So let's go ahead with you first, Hari. Thanks for giving me that opportunity to speak, and also on it. And Hari, why don't you go ahead and share your feedback on overall meeting?
Sure. Thank you. So let me share the positive one. Number one, you brought in a lot of great questions that inspired us, that helped us to rethink, refocus at a short point of time and still convey our ideas. So we can easily see how much research you have done before the meeting to bring the best of the questions, because all of us are experienced professionals and we can share a lot on so many things, but to get them into certain buckets, I think you did a great research before the meeting. You prepared a lot of good questions, and the way you anchored the meeting, it was like very free flowing, and we did not see how the time passed. And you took it very methodically, and you made it very interesting. And another best part of what I observed is, after every speaker completed, you actually took the points, the takeaways from their speech, and then you appreciated them, and then you transition to the next speaker. So it gave a positive ambience throughout the meeting, and instead of using some other fillers, you actually took the takeaways from the previous meeting as the transition keywords and helped the meeting to flourish and thrive and grow. So I think you kept the momentum of the meeting. I think there are no constructive feedbacks other than that. As we evolve, we will also stick to the time and try to bring the timing aspect into our experience speeches. Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you so much, Hari. Yeah, I agree on the timing aspect that we need to do better on from next meeting onwards. Now let me go to Ellen. Ellen, your thoughts, your feedback.
Yes, as Hari said, the overall meeting, I really liked it. The way you brought up those questions, I was even wondering how did you prepare. So that was really good. And then the questions were very appropriate to each and every individual. It's not like it's common questions. So I don't know on the fly how you strategize that one. That was a good thing. So even everybody contributed really well to those questions answered. It's appropriate for us to listen, and then takeaways. Even for whatever we do, we can try to incorporate all those things. That was a good one. Yeah, timing wise, yeah, as you said initially, it was kind of a free flowing. So even I was not trying to say no, or in the sense restrict, okay, after 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So I was kind of understood that one. So yeah, overall the meeting really good. I think it gives me a platform personally for me to improvise on my communication skills. Even I came to this meeting with some kind of a preparation, but I didn't even incorporate anything. But I'm trying to learn that. So that's a good platform for everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. That's the purpose of this meeting, right? When so we all kind of shared our thoughts, and also this is going to be helpful for you when you are talking to your leaders, when you're talking, giving advice, mentoring your junior colleagues, or when you're interviewing someone. Then now, let me go to Rajesh. Your feedback on today's meeting.
Sure, Ravi. Thank you for this opportunity. And I'm going to steal a lot of points from the other two speakers, Ari and Nilan, because they covered most of the things. Yeah. I like the platform that we are having it here, because given the CTO program is totally online, and we haven't have a platform or where we can connect and share our thoughts, and in a very simple term, get to know each other. It's not there. And this platform enable us to do it. And that's one thing I really appreciate for organizing Ari and Ravi for this. So, and a lot of valuable points have been shared, and that's important. As part of this meeting, we were able to speak openly and convey our ideas. That's something as a leader we have to do in different situations. And thanks for bringing a lot of instantaneous questions that we have to react on the fly, which is in a real world scenario. I really liked it. And yeah, apart from it, yes, the timing is something we have to mature, and this is the second or third meeting that we are having, and so definitely we would be able to catch up, and I can see the potential there. So definitely we are growing here, and I hope to be part of this meeting always and learn from everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Rajesh. And Sundar.
Yeah, hi Ravi. Yes, I'm here. Yeah, so as Ravi mentioned, so I like the way you organized this meeting, and you made sure everyone is comfortable, and you shoot the questions. I mean, appropriate to the respective people, and I don't know how you prepared for that. And the other thing is like I also feel like in a limited crowd, people will talk with the open-minded, and they will share their thoughts without any hesitation. So I believe this forum is absolutely doing that, meeting that purpose. And yes, that's it. And the time, when it comes to time, yeah, I don't mind stretching the time, as it is, since it is a free flowing, we are able to communicate more. I mean, talk more about whatever we have in our mind. And yeah, over a period of time, yes, we will get the discipline of limiting to the time that we will get to know. I mean, that we will get used to it. And that, yes, is absolutely a great forum, and you organized it in a nice way.
Excellent. Thanks, Sundar. Now, JK, your final thoughts.
First of all, thank you for organizing it. I really don't have anything major on top of what other people have already covered, but this is my first meeting in this forum, and I wanted to kind of understand the purpose behind it. And I'm still, I would think that we still have to let this evolve beyond the stated purposes, which we might have kind of declared or thought through.
Excellent.
So I think we should keep meeting this way, and if more and more people join us, I think that will help us.
Excellent. Thanks, JK. Yes, you said we are still evolving, and we have to let it evolve.
Excellent. Thanks, JK. Yes, you said we are still evolving, and we have to let it evolve.
No, JK has to go on mute then. It's echoing, I guess.
Yeah, JK, can you?
No, JK has to go on mute then. It's echoing, I guess. Yeah, JK, can you?
Okay.
So Ravi, would you like to share your 1 minute feedback?
Yeah, my 1 minute feedback is I very much enjoyed being part of this group. Great perspectives. I'm a learner by nature, and this meeting satisfied my hunger for learning today. I learned a lot from this group and great perspectives. You all shared a lot of things and a lot of topics. I kind of kept my questions a little bit of hard. And also at the same time customized for your role. I have a general question at that time I'm picking up. I got your introductions and I was following your background and then kind of coming up with that question, but you answered very well. As far as timing is concerned, we are not worried much about the timing of this meeting. As I mentioned earlier, we're all okay to stay for a few more minutes. So I liked pretty much for next preparation for next meeting. I think first of all, before going to the next meeting, the credit goes to Hari for coming up with this initiative to have this common platform in the Toastmasters structure. So Hari is currently active in Toastmasters, and he kind of first came up with this suggestion. It wouldn't have been possible without his idea, without his initiative and leadership for the first couple of meetings. And thank you very much for providing me this opportunity today to host, to be your host or to be your facilitator for this meeting. I pretty much very much enjoyed the experience. Now for the next meeting, so one thing that we can evolve is, in case if any of you are interested in coming up with a 3 to 4 minute prepared speech, we all talked about this spontaneous random off the cuff topics today, but if you have expertise in a particular area and if you can come up with a 3 to 5 minute speech, it's not long, it's as long as what you talked today off the cuff. That means you can all can do easily. You can let Hari know in the group chat. We have the group separate channel. You can let us know in the channel. So we are going to be meeting 2 weeks from now, right, Hari?
Yeah, definitely. We'll meet 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks
I'll give. Let's have a commitment from someone right in this call. Because once we get off from here, we go in our own daily routines. It doesn't happen. But once you commit it, you can always prepare later. So
yeah.
I would say, given Ravi, you and I have moderated this, I want any of the remaining 4, 1, to take a moderating opportunity. Number 2, if they are going to do a 5-minute speech on any topic. So it could be data analytics, it could be digital transformation, whatever it is. Who would like to moderate the next session? Ilan, Rajesh, JK, Sundar.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I can
When
moderate.
is our next meet?
Say 2 weeks from now. So it would be December 11, I guess. Is that?
December 11th. Okay, so we just wanted to make sure that should not fall on any holiday weekend.
Correct. You can check that out.
Yeah, December 11th is our. Are you all okay to join on December 11th, Saturday?
The only thing for me is actually because this is kind of a religious season. I have to go to temples on Saturday morning until December 25th. So the next few sessions are going to be challenge for me in terms of timing, but I would love someone else to take the reins and keep going.
Yeah. Rajesh, you said you might be interested, right? Let us know. Yeah, you can confirm.
Yeah, for now you can have me name as a moderator, but if things change, I would let you know in advance, 2 days or 3 days.
Absolutely, feel free. It's better if you can let us know a week before, so that someone else can
definitely.
So feel free to, in case plans changes, feel free to let us know. And also for any prepared speech topic if you want to share. Probably next meeting, 1 hour meeting, 20 minutes for prepared speeches, 20 minutes for spontaneous, and 20 minutes for evaluation feedback. So first 20 minutes, you have slot for 20 minutes. So if there are 4 people talking about 5-minute topic each, it's like 20 minutes. Or if someone wants to take a 15-minute, then we can even look into that possibility also.
Yeah, I think what's keeping all of us motivated is that 2-minute introduction speeches from each of us.
Yeah.
So we don't know if a new member will join next meeting or not. So I think you probably want to reserve like 10 minutes for introduction. So if new members come, then we'll take it. And then we'll start off with 2 speakers doing 5-minute speeches, or 1 speaker with 10 minutes. That's fine. And then keep your 20 minutes impromptu session flowing. And then we tweak it accordingly as we go.
Yeah, I forgot about the introductions. I think the most interesting aspect and in this meeting is that introduction part first, and that's why I reserved 2 to 3 minutes for introduction to get to know.
Yeah, we really loved it.
Yeah, even I liked it very much, because you know what, every time the introduction, it keeps changing. So the way we introduce ourselves, the things what we introduce about ourselves, I like it very yes. And we are doing it every 2 weeks, right? So it's really interesting. We are changing our own thoughts of introducing ourselves.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. So I am trying to change that myself. So.
Yeah, because we all have multiple, different perspectives, which cannot be done in 2 minutes. So we bring one side of us in every week. Okay, with that, any final thoughts from anyone before we go ahead and drop?
Yeah, I can do the 5-minute speech or 3-minute speech next week. So
yeah, 5 minutes. Excellent. Thanks, Alan. Any final thoughts from anyone?
No. Thank you, everyone.
This is a fantastic meeting. Thank you for giving me this opportunity today. I very much enjoyed. Thanks, everybody.
I was just
Thank you for giving me this opportunity today. I very much enjoyed. Thanks, everybody. See you all in 2 weeks.
Thank you all. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.